Okay, now we got good news and bad news. Remember when I keep saying 1 step forward, 2 steps back? Okay. Throughout the entire build, this car has fought me every step of the way. Absolutely nothing went smoothly. Absolutely nothing. So, when you saw the other video when I was putting in the windshield wiper, and I made sure that the windshield frame fit in here, and I had the masonite in there as in place of the glass, so the frame would, I'm sure the frame would be the same when the glass was in, and it all fit in here. And when I brought the frame with the piece of masonite still in it, I brought it to the glass company, and they said they were going to cut the glass and use my masonite as a pattern, which is good because it fit. And then I told them, I says, well, I'm going to put that cork and rubber batting around the edge of the glass, so you're going to have to make a little bit smaller. So that means if you use the pattern that I gave him, masonite, and he cut it smaller than that, then there should be absolutely no problem whatsoever. Alright? Okay. With that in mind, here's my windshield frame. And it don't fit. It won't go in. It's off by about 1/8 of an inch. It won't fit in the top. So, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. I get the glass 1 step forward. It don't fit. 2 steps back. Didn't they have a movie, Curse of Frankenstein? This has got to be the Curse of FrankenStude. Okay. More fun. Me and Franky. Down in Personal. Glass was cheap too. It was just under 300 bucks for, let's see, it was 177 for the windshield and the 2 doors, glass for the 2 doors, and then it was another, I think, $35 for the rear window glass. So it's 200 bucks, you know, for the glass. And I'm not sure if I'm going to open up or make the little quarter windows bigger or smaller yet. So that's why I didn't bother getting the glass for that. But that can't be much more than, you know, maybe another $20, $25, you know. So for under $230, I got all the glass for a 5-window coupe. You can't beat it. And it's tinted and it's laminate. So, okay. So I just wanted to document my just one more of my dilemmas. Hang in there. That's what everybody tells me. Oh, you got patience. Yeah, I guess I do. Because if I didn't, this car would be sitting in the middle of the driveway on fire by now. Long time ago, actually. Okay, just wanted to show you what's going on. Okay, you can see I took the grinder and I came in from the back side. Now up here I just put the grinding wheel flush with this until it came through this. Now luckily Well, can't say luckily yet. I'm cutting off about 3/16 of an inch between the top of the cut and the bottom of here. That's a little lip that was left there when I built the body. For some reason, I don't know, I just think that they didn't cut the glass to the same size as the pattern, so it's holding my windshield frame 1/8 of an inch higher. It won't drop in. So I'm hoping that this amount that I can cut off, which is just this lip right here all the way down, I'm going to be able to get the windshield frame in. And how I got a line to scribe is I put the windshield frame up against here, and where the windshield frame, you know, was too high, it wouldn't go underneath here, it stopped here. So I took a Sawzall blade and I laid it on top of the frame, and I just dragged it along the windshield frame and scribed the line on the body here, and that's what I'm cutting off. If this doesn't work, I don't know what I'm going to do. If I can't get the windshield frame in, I don't know what I'm going to do. I may have to bring it back and say, you got to make the windshield smaller. It's got to go smaller. So just more work. Alright, I'm starting to cut it back now. Okay. Cool. I trimmed that 1/8 strip off there, and I got the windshield in. Thank God, huh? Okay. That's good. Now I'm just gonna have to clean it up a little bit. A little uneven. Kind of missed the mark right here. It's a little low, so I'm going to grind that so it's flush with that back piece. Round it off a little bit so there'll be no jagged edges. And then I'll be all set. Tired. I was up till 4 o'clock last night working on this thing. But today's my day off, so went to bed at 4, got up at 8:30. If I was smart, I'd go to bed early tonight. But I ain't that smart. So, alright. There's the windshield. And it fits. One more step closer. Maybe we'll take a ride out to sea in Washington. 63 Impala. I already told our Peak I'd be up to see him. Once she's on the road, I'm going to make a road trip to Maine. I think he's about 4 or 5 hours from me. You're a little bit further, Mr. Impala. But yeah, we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. Okay, that's it for today. What else did I get done? Oh, I bled the brakes. The brakes pedal feels good. Now, if anybody out there has got a standard and they want to comment, how much, if you get a hydraulic clutch, how much throw is the throw out arm moving where the slave cylinder is pushing on it? Granted, you know, the further out you go, it's more travel. The closer in you get to the block, the less travel. But right about where the slave cylinder is pushing on the throw out arm, I'm only getting about 1/4 of an inch of travel. Now that may not be a lot, or maybe enough depending on where the pivot point is of the throw out arm and how far that extends out to get to the throw out bearing. Because 1/4 inch back here could be 1 inch out here. And I won't know until I fire it up and try to get it in gear and see what happens. But it's really, really close to getting fired up. There's just a couple of things I noticed underneath where I welded some stuff to the floor, I got to retouch up the paint and the undercoating underneath. One of the brake lines needs a support. It's a little bit too long of a length, and I'm afraid that from bouncing around it might flex and crack. So I got to put a support up for that. And while it's up in the air and now on all the jack stands, I like to see if I can somehow lift the back end of this car up, because I have now that I have all the weight of the car built, all the built weight, whatever you want to call it, on the suspension. I pretty much used up all the suspension on those leaf springs in the back. The shackles are almost horizontal up against the frame, and if I put fuel in there and drive down the road, the thing is it'll be bottomed down and just flex the spring. So I got to do something to get the back end up. Helper springs. There's a number of ways I can do it. Airbags, air shocks, coil over shocks. But I got a whole gaggle of coil springs from different cars, from 78 Monte Carlos, Chevettes. I got a bunch of different coil springs. There may even be coil springs on that Festiva there, the junk one. That'd be a nice light car, you know. And I can put them in there additional to the leaf springs. But if I really wanted to backtrack, I've got a whole 4-link suspension minus the coilover shocks for a rear end for one of these things I'm not even using. I bought it years ago. It's still in a box. Alright, so this is what I got so far. Alright, we'll put this on YouTube tonight, and I'll just continue working on it. Alright, we'll see ya. Cool.